Hi, everybody. By now, many of you know that BBO and the ACBL are requiring convention cards when you play. And I know that many of you don't even know what a convention card is yet. So this video is for those of you who've been playing maybe a year, maybe even 2 years, maybe even into 3 years, and have never looked at or thought about what a convention card was. Let me start with what a convention card looks like in the brick and mortar world. A convention card looks like this. Well, I guess it's a backwards thing here for you. A convention card is this paper document in the brick and mortar world on which you write your agreements with your partner. Now, this is sort of for you and your partner. What happens in the brick and mortar world a lot is that players come into the building and maybe they're playing for the very first time with another player. They get one of these paper documents that we have in the room, tons of them, and they sit down with a blank and they fill it out. And they do that so that while they're sitting and talking to one another, they're saying, oh, do we play Jacoby transfers? Oh, okay. Are we playing takeout doubles? Okay. And they check off all the stuff that they're going to be playing. Now, that helps them before the game starts so that they cement some information with each other. That's important, that you try and remember what you're playing. But there's a bigger reason for completing a convention card, both in the brick and mortar world and online. And that is this. This is a game, Bridge is a game of what's called full disclosure. I don't think you can see it on the bottom, and if you can, it's probably backwards. It's a game of full disclosure, which means that every time you make a bid, the opponents have an absolute right to know what that bid means. Now, in theory, opponents know what most of your bids mean, right? I mean, you open one heart, the opponents are going to know it means you have 12 to 20 points in a 5-card heart suit. But there are going to be times when they may not know what a bid means specifically. Maybe they don't know what your point count is when you open a 2-club opener. Maybe they aren't sure about whether or not you're making a takeout double or not. So a bigger reason why you complete a convention card has to do with the opponents having a right to know what your bids mean. And there are going to be times when they will ask you to see your card, or they will call a director, and the director online is going to ask you for your convention card. And that's where you need to have one now. So there can be some problems for you if you don't have a completed convention card in BBO. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to walk through a video that will show you how to complete a convention card. Now, yes, this video is going to be a little lengthy. I'm sorry about that, but I want to walk through every step. Another thing, though, I want you to know is that this video will be stored at our website over on the right where I list all of my videos. But there will also be a little button there. And that little button will allow you to download and look at a document that walks through everything I'm doing now to complete a convention card. And the document will have pictures in it. All right, so you'll have both this video description, plus you're going to have a PDF download. So if you needed an actual physical helper, you'll have that. Okay, so you ready to get started? Yes, this is going to be a little lengthy. I'm sorry, but I want to be thorough. All right, let's begin. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you some things through a PowerPoint first. Well, as I'm going along, actually, because I think it'll be helpful for you to both see a bigger picture of it here on your screen before I go over to the BBO. So how do you complete a convention card? Step 1, log into BBO. Step 2, over on the far right of your BBO screen, you will see an account tab. Now I've turned the tabs horizontal here so you can see them. You're looking for the one that says account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to my BBO account. Okay, this is my BBO. Actually, I should make it a little smaller to see. All right. All right. This is my BBO account, right? I'm PalBridge. Over here, whoops. Over here on the right, I'm going to find my account tab. Now, I have just pressed my account tab. All right. Yes, it's very big. The whole thing is very big. Now, on my account tab, and I've got to move that there. Sorry. I'm trying to make this so you can see it. Okay. On the account tab over here on my right, I clicked on it. And what I'm looking at are these little headings across the top. They're tiny, right? Right over here. What I'd like to do is I'd like to press the convention card tab. All right, and that takes me into the convention card area. All right, now in the convention card area, I'm going to click on step 5. I'm going to click on the blue button at the top. It says new ABCBL convention card. All right, so let's go do that. And that's this button right up here. Click. Now, in that area, all right, in that area, I should see, there we go. I should see this great big screen of a lot of information. I want to start at the top in this blue area at the top. All right, that blue area is what I'm pointing to here on my screen. All right, this is this. You're going to fill out pieces of this information, and I'm going to set up a convention card that's a general convention card, but also I'm also at the same time going to use it with my friend Kim. So the first thing you want to do is enter your partner's BBO ID in this partner area. It should be your partner's BBO ID. And don't worry if you play with more than one partner. We're doing this with just one partner right now. You're going to have to title this right over here. And I'm just going to call it Megan's convention card. And then down here on this name field, put your actual name and your partner's actual first name, because it's a way for you to look at a convention card and go, who the heck is Kumunui? Oh, that's right, it's Kim. So that's what I'm going to come over here and do in BBO. It's very, very tiny, and there's no way I can make this bigger, to be perfectly honest. That's why I have it on the other screen. So this is Kumunui. I'm going to call it Megan's convention card, and the names are Megan and Kim. Okay, so far so good. All right, step 7. Now we're going to look at the top of the convention card. There's an area called General Approach. For us, the only thing that you're going to fill in here is this area right here where it says Forcing Opening, and you have these items over here along this line. The only one you care about is the 2-club opener. That is a forcing opening for the opener, a forcing opening bid, meaning that is a responder must bid to a 2-club opener. They're forced to bid. And there's nothing else you and I are going to complete in this area. If some of you have been taking lessons with Alan on 2/1 game forcing, you could click on 2/1 game forcing. But the bulk of the people who are going to watch this video right now don't know that yet. So for our purposes, you're going to put a little X or a little mark in this 2-club box. It's actually after the 2-club. It's the one after. And so I'm going to go do that on my screen. Whoops. I'm going to go come up here and put a little check. It's hard for you to see. There's just no way I can make this bigger. I wish there were, but I can't. Okay. All right, so now I have on this little box filled that in. The next area I want to work on is the No Trump Opening Bids section. Now, on the card, it's directly underneath this general approach area. It's this big box here, all the way across. It says No Trump Opening Leads, and it's a big box. Now, if I just tried to fill this in here on the screen, you wouldn't be able to see it. So I want to show you what I'm filling in. The green areas are what I'm going to fill in. So the first thing I'm going to fill in is what are my ranges when I open one No Trump? We play 15 to 17. And so I'm going to fill in 15 to 17 on this line. Then I come down here, 5-card major suit common. No, we don't play 5-card majors in no trump. Don't click that box. But you do want to type in the word double here, system on over double. If you were with me this past fall and we talked about interference after partner's no trump opening, one of the things we learned was that when an opponent bids a double after your partner's won no trump, the opponent did not take up any bidding room. Therefore, you can still bid Stamen, you can still bid Jacoby, no problem. That's what this means here. Systems on over double, meaning if the opponent's double in between my won no trump partner and I can still do Stamen or Jacoby. Then we come down to this section with all these numbers and symbols, okay? Now, whether or not an opponent has doubled or passed, we're going to play 2 clubs Stamen. Yes, put a little check in this box. We're going to play 2 diamonds as a transfer to hearts. You're going to put a check in this box. We're going to play 2 hearts as a transfer to spades. Yes, put a check in this box. Now, over here in this middle section, we have learned the Texas transfer. And that's when your partner opens 1 no, or even 2 no for that matter, but let's just call it 1 no. And you bid 4 diamonds or 4 hearts as a transfer to hearts or spades on the 4 level. And so if you remember that, you're going to put a check in this box. This is the Texas transfer box. Now, let's look at the other items here down here. Yes, we did all those. All right. Now, down here, this 2 spades, we learned that we relay to the minors here, and that's what you write in this area on the screen, relay to the minors. You do that with a weak point count and 6 or more minor cards. Now, down here is, if my partner opened 1 no trump, and these are all the possible responses, then a response of 2 no trump also has to be identified. So what do you have in your hand when your partner opens 1 no and you respond 2 no? Well, you should have 8 or 9 high card points in your hand. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to go over to my screen and I'm going to fill those in. And you click in a box and you type, and you can use your tab key for this. But since we're not going to do everything, you could just use your mouse to click on different areas. I'm going to click on the Stamen box, the Jacoby box, the Texas box, the transfer. On this line, I'm going to write relay to the minors. And then on the 2 no trump line, I'm going to write 8 to 9 high card points. I know, very tiny, hard to see, right? Now, I didn't talk about this area over here yet. This is the 2 no trump opener. And we play 20 or 21. And yes, we play Jacoby. Whoops. And we play Texas over that, right? Now notice that's the last thing I'm going to fill in. I don't put anything in this box. I don't put anything on these, anything on these 3 lines. None of this nonsense down here. We don't worry about any of that. So I'm going to go back and work on my 2 no trump area. When we open 2 no trump, it's 20 to 21. And yes, we play Jacoby. And yes, we play Texas. Now, if you're looking at this section of the screen, we have finished this no trump opening bids box from left to right. And now we're going to move to these next 2 boxes, major opening, minor opening. So let's start with the major opening. What are you going to fill in on this box? Well, whoops. First of all, you have 5 cards. That's what this is saying, that you, when you open 1 heart or 1 spade, you will always have at least 5 cards, never 4 cards. And you would do it no matter which seat you're in, whether you open it as the dealer, as the 2nd seat, as the 3rd seat, as the 4th seat. No matter when you become the opener in an auction, no matter how many passes there are in front of you, you are going to have a 5-card suit or longer. Now, what about the responses? Well, if you're the responder, your partner's open 1 heart and you're the responder, a double raise means that you jumped to the 3 level. Your partner opened 1 heart, you jumped to 3 hearts. That's a double raise. A single raise would be 2 hearts. Double raises in bridge can be played different ways. We play it as invitational, meaning you're inviting the opener to go to game. You're showing an invitational point count. So you're going to click the invitational box there. We're going to ignore a lot of this other stuff here, and we're going to come all the way down to here. To no trump as a response to a 1 heart or 1 spade opening. So if I've opened 1 heart and you, my responder, have bid 2 no trump, you are, first of all, inviting me to game. 2 no trump is always an invitation in this scenario. You're inviting me to game. You're inviting me specifically to 3 no trump. So you put a check in the box, and your point count is 11 or 12 high card points, assuming you play 11 or 12 as invitational and not 10, 11, 12 as invitational. If you played 10 to 12, you would change this number to 10. But many of you learned 11 or 12 as the invitational range. You'd be telling your partner you have a balanced hand, 11 or 12 high card points, no suit to offer. You are inviting opener to go to 3 no. So that's what this 2 no trump means. It's a response to a 1 heart or 1 spade opening. 3 no trump here, well, you generally have 13 to 16 points. If you've got 17 or more, you want to be thinking about slam. So your partner's opened 1 heart or 1 spade. You jump to 13 points. You're showing a balanced hand, no suit to offer, 13 to 16 high card points. Those are the only pieces we're going to fill out on that area. We're going to say we have a 5 card suit. We're going to say that a jump to the 3 level is invitational. We're going to say a 2 no trump rebid is balanced with 11 or 12 points, not rebid, response. And that a 3 no trump response is 13 to 16 points. So I'm going to go fill that in this tiny major suit openings box. All right. I'm going to do that here. 12, and then this one is 13 to 16. And that's all we're filling out in that box. Now let's move to the right to the minor suit opening field. Now, your expected length in a minor suit is 3 or more cards. I know that we often say that with a diamond suit, you have 4, but what this card is saying is that if you check the 4 box, you only ever open 1 diamond when you have 4 cards. And that's not always true for us. We will occasionally have a 3 card diamond suit when we open. Here's the example, by the way. You look at your hand, you have 12 to 20 points you are going to open, but the shape of your hand is a 4 card spade suit, a 4 card heart suit, a 3 card diamond suit, a 2 card club suit. That is the exception. That is the only time when you open 1 diamond and only have 3 cards. So you're going to fill this column out as a 3 card minimum whenever you open either 1 club or 1 diamond. That's just the way you should do it. Now, after that, there are responses. What do your responses mean when your partner opens 1 club? Well, again, here's the invitational range, double raise. That means you opened 1 club, I jumped to 3 clubs, double raise. 2 clubs would be single raise. We consider that an invitational bid, inviting your opener to do some more. Okay, so you're going to click the invitational box, and then you're going to come all the way down here to this weirdly written instruction. I wish over the years they have changed what this means. But here's how you read this. Here's what it actually says. It says that your first response is 1 no trump over a 1 club opening. Well, that's fine. If you were reading this in mathematic notation, then it would be like a fraction. But what it says is that you have, as a responder, bid 1 no trump, the junk drawer, over your partner's 1 diamond, 1 club, and what's implied there also is 1 diamond opening. So partner opens 1 club or 1 diamond, you respond 1 no trump junk drawer. What do you have? You have 6 to 9 or 6 to 10 points. You fill in whichever numbers are true for you. If you learn 6 to 10, that's what you type in there. That's the junk drawer response. The next line is, what if your first response is actually 2 no trump, not 1 no trump? Well, that is an invitational bid. So you're going to click the invitational box and you're going to put in your invitational point range. This was just like over the majors. Generally speaking, if I open 1 club or 1 diamond and you jump to 2 no, you do not have a 4 card major to show me, right? You do not have a whole bunch of clubs or diamonds to raise me in my suit, What you have is a balanced hand. You've got 11 or 12 high card points, or if you're playing the new responses, 10 to 12 high card points. And you're letting me know that. All right, that's what this is. 3 no trump is a first response. Balanced hand, no 4-card major. You have 13 to 16 points. So this little grouping here, and then this invitational and this number of cards is what you're filling in on this screen. So I'm going to go do that over here in the minor suit area right now. I'm going to say that's invitational. I'm going to say 6 to 10. This is invitational here. It's 11 to 12. And then this is 13 to 16. And that's what I'm filling out now. And I've now finished the major suit and the minor suit area. Okay. Now I'm coming down to this area that has, while you can't see it, I'm going to go back to the other screen. This is where you have both the mega hand and the preemptive area. So let's go there on my screen. Yeah. All right. So this is where you are in the next section. And if you were looking at a real card, by the way, we are now at the very bottom of the first page. This is where we are. This is where we talk about our, first of all, our 2-club opener. And we play that a 2-club opener is 21 or more high card points plus. Could be any number, right? And so you don't have to say strong. It's implied that it's strong. Some people play it even stronger than 21. They say they have to have 23 points. That's why the strong little button is there. Ignore the strong button. We play 21 plus high card points. We also play the weighting system as a first response. All right, that's what this says. 2 diamonds response. What does it mean? It means weighting. So we're going to fill those two areas in when we go to the card. Now, after we've taken care of 2 clubs, we now have 3 bids here that are all week 2 preempts. Okay, so you're going to fill in the point count 5 to 9 on each of these. Under this area, what kind of a preempt is it? Well, it's weak. It's a weak one. There are different ways that you can play 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, and 2 spades. In the old days, it was played strong. Sometimes it was played intermediate. That's the old days. We're going to click weak because we play week 2. We play the 2-level opening bids as weak, the week 2s. So you're going to fill in the points. You're going to type weak. Now let's go over here. Some of you may or may not remember this, but this past summer, we did learn something called the feature ask. And that's this. When a responder, suppose I've opened 2 diamonds and you're my responder. When a responder bids 2 no trump, it is a forcing bid for the opener and it's called the feature asking bid. It's when you are asking your week 2 opening partner, do they have a king or an ace outside of their long 6-card suit? Because you as responder are thinking, I wonder if we can go to 3 no trump, but I need a little help in another suit. So you'd have to go back and look at your notes for the week 2 opening bids. All right. We did talk about the feature ask. If you remember it, excuse me, you want to use it, then you're going to click the 2 no trump feature forcing box and type the word feature here. If you don't remember it, leave it alone if you're not going to use it. But you should fill in for the strong 21 points plus. We're using the weighting system as a responding bid, and we play 5 to 9 for the week 2s week. All right. So I'm going to go over and fill out that part of this 21 plus. I hit the plus button. Let's see there. And I'm going to say the weighting response, and I'm going to put 5 to 9 points in. Now, some people, you could, in the brick and mortar world, we don't fill each one of these out. We just draw a line from the first one down, but I can't do that here. And I'm going to click weak on each of those. And if you remember your 2 no trump feature asking bid, you can write feature or feature ask here. Okay. Now that has filled out this section here. We have a tiny little red section here before we get to this big black line So this tiny little red section, the good news is, yeah, I forgot to do that, is that we don't play any of these other conventions yet on the very bottom. We're near that big black line. In the next, I don't know, year, 2, 3 years, you might decide to take on new minor forcing. That's this thing you see on the screen, or two-way forcing. You don't do that yet. Don't worry about it. Okay. So that actually takes care of all of the first side of a physical convention card. Now we're going to look at the other side, and we don't have, I don't think, nearly as much to fill out on that side. So I want to show you, first of all, on the actual convention card, it's below this big black line. Okay, this is the second side. Now we are not going to fill out a ton of stuff on this side. And the truth is because we haven't learned a lot of these things. And even once we learn them, we may choose not to use them. There are a lot of things on the second side of the card that are this and this and this and this. A lot of things the big kids use. We're not going to use them. I'm going to walk through some of these and mention some of them, but I'll show you which ones we have to fill out. So I'm going to start up here with this area, and it goes all the way from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes here. Okay, right from this area here, all the way through down through direct qubit. So special doubles through direct qubit. Let's talk about this area. All right, so this is where we're talking about. Now, we're talking about the special doubles area first. If you've learned what a negative double is and you're actually using it, then you're going to fill in this box here. Under negative, you would put a check and you would write through 3 spades. Now, most of you have not learned negative doubles yet. You're going to learn it with me in the spring. But right now, you probably don't know it. And if that's true, there's nothing you're filling out here. Sorry, I get thirsty. Okay. So there's nothing else you're going to fill out here. There really isn't. Okay. We're not going to worry about anything else in this box. It's only if you did learn negative doubles, specifically with Roz this last summer, then you would, on this negative line, put a check here and put through 3 spades. Otherwise, we're not worrying about this box. The second box is the simple overcall box. Now, you have learned simple overcalls, so we do want to put some information in here. So in this box, you first of all are going to give your point count for your 8 to 16 points for a simple overcall. So please on your card, you're going to type in the 8 to 16. All right. That just identifies what point range you use for a simple overcall. Then here's the responses section. What does your advancer do when you make a simple overcall? Well, if your advancer bids a brand new suit, it is considered forcing by us. But look down here, the advancer, when they bid a new suit, needs 12 points, just like an opener, and a good 5-card suit. So the number of times your advancer is going to bid a brand new suit is going to be pretty small, but if your advancer does bid a new suit, we do consider it a forcing bid for the overcaller. It's just like a responder changing to a new suit. All right. Now, the second line is a jump raise. What does that mean? We consider it invitational, so you would check that box. So what are we talking about? Let's say the person to your right opens 1 club. You're the overcaller and you bid 1 heart as a simple overcall. The person to your left is the responder, and let's say that person passes. And now I'm your partner, I'm your advancer, and I jump raise in your suit. So the person on your right has opened a club, you have overcalled 1 heart, person on your left passes, and I raise you to 3 hearts. That's a jump raise. I could have said 2 hearts, that would have been just a simple raise. But I jump raised, I double raised. So I'm inviting you to go to game in our now shared suit. So what you're filling out in the simple overcall box is 8 to 16 points as your range, that a new suit by an advancing partner is forcing, and that if your advancing partner does raise you 2 levels, jump raise, you consider it invitational to game. Okay, and so you're going to fill that out on the card. All right, now what about the rest of these boxes? Well, there isn't much else you're going to fill in here. You've already entered 8 to 16 points as your simple overcall, right? Down here, if you make a jump overcall, that's a preemptive overcall. That's just weak. That's just a weak overcall bid. The person on your right opens 1 diamond and you make a weak jump overcall, a preemptive overcall of 3 spades. All right, so that's a weak jump overcall. We call that a preemptive overcall. Just check the weak box for that. Opening preempts, we make them light. Okay, if we open at the 3 level or the 4 level, that's considered a light bid, meaning you have light points. You have 5 to 9 points, because some people play it stronger than that. Some people play it a little stronger than 5 to 9. We play the usual weak way. Notice that that's in black because it's the usual way, but you should put a check in that box. And I'm sorry, down here, a check in the light box. Okay. Direct Q bids. Well, honestly, you may not have learned any direct Q bids yet. You will at some point in the next year learn something called Michael's Q bids. But I bet you don't know them yet if you're listening to this video. So you wouldn't put anything in there. If you did learn Michael's with Roz, you would put checks in these 2 boxes. So what's your takeaway in these 5 boxes? Here's what you need to fill out on the screen. Nothing up here, most likely. 8 to 16, forcing for a new suit, invitational if your advancer bids on the 3 level. If you make a preemptive overcall, it's weak. If you make a preemptive overcall on the 3 level or 4 level, it's light. We consider that a light bid, and probably nothing in this box. So I'm going to go over there and I am still here. I'm going to fill this out, 8 to 16. I'm going to say forcing for a new suit, an invitational for if my advancer jumps in my suit. A jump overcall, they're really referring to the 2 level here. If you make a preemptive 2 level overcall. In other opening preempts, they're talking about if you open on the 3 level or 4 level. And we haven't learned anything in direct Q bids, so we're not doing anything there. Let's go look at these columns here, these 4 columns. All right, and I'll take those apart here for you. No trump overcalls. Well, we did learn this past summer, no trump overcalls. If the person to your right opens 1 club and you overcall 1 no trump, you're in the 2nd seat. You've got a balanced hand and 15 to 18 points, stoppers in the opening suit. Then you can make a 1 no trump overcall. You're showing here 15 to 18 points. And you're telling your partner that you want to play systems on. What does that mean? The person to your right opened 1 diamond. You made a 1 no trump overcall. If the person to your left, the responder, passes, then I, your advancing partner, can use Stamen. I can use Jacoby. It's as though you opened no trump and I was merely responding to you. So 15 to 18 points, our systems are on, assuming the person in between us, the opponent, between us, the responder, passes. Okay, that's all you're filling in that box. Don't worry about any of these other 2 things. Then we're going to look at defense against no trump, meaning this. The person to your right has opened 1 no trump. What are your options as an overcaller? We talked about this past fall. We've learned that we overcall naturally. What does that mean? It means that if the person to your right opens 1 no and you bid 2 hearts, it's because you have a 6 card or longer heart suit. You're not playing any kind of odd convention that we will learn down the road. You are playing naturally. You bid hearts, you have hearts. You bid clubs, you have clubs. Okay? If you double your right-hand opponent's 1 no trump opener, it's a penalty double. It says you have the same amount of high card points or more than the 1 no trump opener, and you don't think they can make it. So you're going to type in the word natural next to this versus line, on this versus line, and you're going to type in the word penalty on this double line. Okay, that's all you're putting in this box. Let's talk about these other 2 boxes. Honestly, this box over opponent's takeout double, what do? Just leave it blank. Just leave it blank. You're not doing any fancy things. All right, you're not doing anything in this entire box. But let's take a look at this last box. If your partner makes an opening preempt, all right, so let's say that, not your partner, your opponent. Let's say the person on your right preempts makes an opening preempt of 2 diamonds. That's a week 2 opening, right? That's a preemptive opening bid. This language means if your opponent has made an opening preempt and you double, that's what this means. Then what does your double mean? So let's say that your opponent has made a preemptive week 2 opening of 2 diamonds. If you make a takeout double, if you double, it means takeout. And you're saying to your own partner, if that bid to my right is anywhere between 2 diamonds all the way through 3 spades, my double is takeout. I'm making a regular old takeout double. Let's bid accordingly. Okay. Now that's not going to happen a lot, but you know, if you remember it, you think you want to use it, fill this out. So in these 4 boxes, 15 to 18 and systems are on. If you're saying here, if you make a one no trump overcall after your right hand opponent's opening 1 level suit bid, they open 1 club, you make a 1 no trump bid as an overcaller, 15 to 18 systems on. We can use Stayman and Jacoby. If the person on your right opens 1 no trump, what is your defense? Well, if you bid a suit, it's natural. You bid 2 hearts, you have 6 heart cards. You bid 2 clubs, you have 6 club cards. If you double, it's for penalty. So you'll fill these 2 things in. You're going to leave this 3rd box blank. And down here, you can tell your partner that a takeout double exists up to and including 3 spades when the opponent makes a preemptive opening all the way up through 3 spades. So I'll go fill this in over here. 15 to 18. Systems are going to be on. Nothing else in this box. I'm going to type natural here, and double means penalty. I'm not doing anything in the 3rd box, but I am going to say that if the opponent makes a preempt up through and including 3 spades, my double of that is takeout. If the opponent, what that implies is if the opponent's opening bid is 4 clubs or higher, my double is penalty. So anytime they make an opening bid on the 4 level or higher and I double, it's penalty. But anything below that, it's takeout. All right, now we're coming down to this bottom area. We're almost done with this side of this page. Let's take a look at the next thing, which is how to bid slam. What do my slam bids mean? Okay, so slam convention. Gerber, we only make directly over a no trump opening. So I open 1 no trump. You bid 4 clubs as your first response. You are already asking me for aces using Gerber because you don't have a 4-card major or 5-card major for Stayman or Jacoby. We're not going to bid Stayman or Jacoby. You just want to know right now, how many aces do I have? You use Gerber, 4 clubs, directly over a 1 no trump opening or a 2 no trump opening. Over here, Blackwood, I'm going to tell you that there are all kinds of different ways you can use Blackwood. We use the regular old Blackwood way. So you put a check in the 1st box here. You don't worry about these boxes. Regular old Blackwood. And there's nothing else here that you're going to check. Nothing. That's it. So we're going to go back to the form and we're going to type these words and check these 2 boxes. So let's go do that. Oops. Let's go do that. All right. So I'm down here under Gerber, Blackwood, and on this line, somewhere on this line, I'm going to type directly over no trump opening. And that only applies to Gerber, by the way. That does not apply to Blackwood. So that's why I'm trying to cheat it a little bit over here by the Gerber. Now, we have one last little section down here. There is not much we're going to do here, but let's look at it. This is how you tell the director and your opponents what your opening leads mean. There's a lot going on here, but we're not actually going to touch much of it. But I do want you to look at these 2 areas. What you see in bold here tells your partner all the different ways you can lead when you lead, generally speaking, either 4th down, or a lot of this room is taken up when you lead an honor card. The only thing that you need to make sure that you click on here, and if you forget, honestly, don't worry about it. But we lead top of touching honors. So while the king, queen, the king is bolded, queen, jack, the queen is bolded, jack 10, the jack is bolded, all that's bolded, it's great. There is an old way, and they've never changed these cards. The old way that for some reason from ace king, you led the lower, the king. We don't do that anymore, but they've never changed the convention card. So you need to come here and click the ace on both sides under the versus suit column and versus no trump column. This ace king, click the ace. This ace king jack, click the ace to say that no, we leave the ace from ace king. All right. Other things in this whole area here. Length leads. We lead fourth down, fourth best versus a suit contract and versus a no trump contract. It's just something we considered a standard lead. If we can't lead a suit, we're going to lead fourth down when no matter whether the opponents are in a suit contract or a no trump contract. And then the last thing down here is primary signal. Now, you guys probably haven't learned signals yet. We haven't done that yet. We will, but we're not yet. We might, by the time you see this video, you might have heard about it because I'm doing it in my series 2 of Trump Play the Hand. There is something called an attitude signal, and that has to do with when your partner is on opening lead. The card you play specifically in that opening lead suit tells your partner how you feel about the suit, whether you like it and want it continued or not. It's called attitude. If you know about it, you can click the attitude area, but if not, don't worry about it. So all you have to care about in this big box here is that I want you to click the ace here under versus suits, and then under versus no trump, click this ace, and then click the fourth best under suits and no trump. That's this box. Over here under defensive carding, a fancy thing, notice all of these kinds of weirdo things that you can do under something called defensive carding. What does all this mean? Here's what it means. You run out of a suit during the play of the hand, and you're going to discard from another suit. What does your discard mean? Take a look at all these different things that your actual discarding card could mean. Holy cow. No, we're not worried about anything that. Look, you're just going to click standard versus suit and versus no trump. All that means is, hey, I've run out of cards in the suit that you all are playing on this trick. I'm going to go search for a card in another suit that I think is no good to me and throw that away. That's all it means most of the time. That's what it means. So in this big box on the that you have left to fill in, click on the ace here, fourth best, and under the defensive carding, you're going to do standard. So let's go do that. Down here, I'm going to click on this ace. It's going to, whoops, it's going to put a green box around it. This one, I'll put a green box around it. Fourth best, standard discards here, here. And that's it. Now, that took a long time. I get it. Come on. I didn't click all these so we could get all that goody stuff. Now, that took a while, and I did take my time going through it. And whether or not you stuck with me through all of that was up to you, because remember, you do have the packet. But, and this will be, this will be when I email to you, you need to come to this last step. You need to save your card. You've done all this work. You have to save it. So how do you do that? Well, up top, if you have not already put your partner's BBO ID in under partner, you need to get that done. All right. You need to make sure you identify this card with a specific BBO partner. And again, you should, in a minute, I'm going to show you how you actually assign this card to you and your partner so that BBO recognizes it. You should also have a title. And by the way, I like to make sure I put real names in on the names line, just so that I know when I look at a card, who the heck is Kumunui? Oh yeah, it's Kim. All right. I put real names there, but this partner needs to be a BBO ID. And you also over here should have some kind of title. Doesn't matter what, but you should fill in this field. Then this Save Changes button will be active, and you should click it. So I'm going to go over to mine now. See my Save Changes button up here? I'm going to click it, and you get this message. Your convention card has been saved. Fantastic. Great. Okay. My convention card is saved. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to press the back button. That's this button up here. After I've saved the card, I want to go back. That's going to take me to my convention card screen again. up here. Now I'll show you what I'm looking at here on this next page, and then I'll show you again on the card. Notice under my personal cards, I now have Megan's convention card with my partner, Kumunui, as one of my saved convention cards. And you can see that right here. I have it as a saved card. Fantastic. Now what? Well, we're not quite finished. We're done. You do have a saved card, but honestly, you have not formally assigned it to your partner. And BBO needs to understand that you want to actively use this card with a specific BBO partner. Right now, you've just created a card and said, I'm going to use it with Kumunui, but I haven't made the interconnection in BBO yet. So that's the last piece here, is creating this card and assigning it to a partner. Now, here's a piece of good news. You can actually create a standard card like we just did once, and then you can keep assigning it to new partners each time you want to use it with a brand new person. But we still have not assigned it to even one person yet. Internally in the card, I said I'm using this with Kumunui, my friend Kim, but I haven't actually told BBO to go across the interwebs and get Kim's BBO account to understand we go together on this card. So how do we do that? Okay. The first thing I need you to know is only one of you creates this card. Kim is not sitting over at her computer doing the exact same thing. No, no, no. If I create a card and she creates a card, and then we tell BBO across the interwebs to connect them, they'll both just disappear. They could just even fall off your screen. No, you don't both do this. Only one of you ever does this. So I created the card. I just did all that work. Kim is just sitting at her computer twiddling her thumbs. She's doing nothing yet. So what now I'm going to do is I'm going to tell BBO, go through the interwebs, into the tubes, and go through BBO to Kim's ID and give her a copy of this card and link us together. So under the personal cards, I'm going to go find that Kumunui card again under my cards. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that card. And when I do that, I get this box. What would you like to do with this convention card? And I'm going to type in Kim's BBO ID in this box right here. And then I'm going to press use with partner button. Are you ready? So right now, yes, it's on my screen, but it's not connected yet. So I'm going to click on this card. See how I get that box? I'm going to type Kim's, and it comes up because I've used her before. I'm going to type in correct. I'm going to type it in correctly into the box, her BBO ID. Then I'm going to say use with partner. Yay. Okay. Oops. Hold on. It doesn't like it for some reason. Maybe I typed her name wrong. That's why. Okay. Now, okay. See where it says up here, convention card saved. Convention card saved. Now, the question is, did Kim get this card? What you're going to do is you're going to ask your partner to log into BBO and check their convention card area. Now, if your partner's already in BBO while you're doing this, they're going to have to log out and log back in. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to log into Kim's BBO ID because I haven't. Okay. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to log into her BBO ID. I'm going to go to her account. I'm going to go to convention card. Look what I have here. Look at this. Megan's convention card. My partner is Pal Bridge. That's me. This convention card is the one, and I'm just going to view it. This is the one I just completed. See, it says Megan and Kim up here. This is the one I just completed with you. And now it appears in Kim's window. Isn't that amazing? It automatically went through the tubes to Kim's BBO ID, linked the card I created into her BBO ID, made a copy of it for her, put it in her BBO ID. Now we both have a copy in BBO. And when we go and play, when we go and play, I'll come back here. When we go and play, that convention card will pop up into place and be permanent. Now, let me go back to my BBO. Is that me? That's me. If I wanted to assign this to another player, suppose I wanted to use this exact same card with a different partner. Let's say I wanted to use this with Alan. I don't have to create a brand new card if we're going to play all the same conventions I play with Kim. So here's what I have to do. I have to go to my convention card area. I'm going to click on the Kumu Nui one, the one I use with Kim. And this time I'm going to choose view. Okay. Actually, I'm not going to choose view. This is a lie. Don't look at this. I'm going to click on that card. And then in the box, I'm going to give a new BBO ID and say use with partner. Let's give that a shot. I'm over here. I'm in my PAL bridge. I'm going to click on Kumu Nui. And this time I want to put Alan's BBO ID in, Alan EBC, and I'm going to say use with partner. I get the convention card saved. And when you look down here, I have exactly the same card with Alan. Isn't that something? But I'm going to do one more step, because when I click on this card and I edit it, it's going to say that I'm playing with Kim. I'm going to just change this to Alan. It already changed his partner BBO ID up here. He already did that. But I want to just change the name so I know who it's for. I'll save changes. My convention card's been saved. When I go back, I have two convention cards, one with Kim, one with Alan. And I could just keep clicking on this, and every time, if I wanted to do all kinds of different partners, all I do is put their ID here, say use with partner, and it does exactly the same thing. It saves it with that partner, and it goes through the interweb and puts it on their screen. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing. So we did a whole lot of work here, and I'm not expecting you to have become an expert in this, not at all. Okay, not at all. But I wanted you to have a sort of an idea of how this worked to go along with the packet. If you want to download a packet, okay, you could have this sort of playing in the background on, let's say, your iPad while you're on your laptop filling in convention cards. So you could sort of have this or even listen to it on your phone while you're filling out the convention card. And if you wanted to download this, I mean, you might not really want to download all these pages. I think there's something like 20 pages, but you could just look at it online as well. You could just download and look at it, but it is a step-by-step, and it has pictures of everything that I talked about with full explanations on each page of each picture. Okay. So a lot of you have been asking for convention cards. Could I have done this in a shorter time period? Possibly. Could I have made this a shorter video? Possibly, but I needed to be thorough, because the kinds of questions I'm getting about this are so many that I just didn't want to do I didn't want to short shrift this, okay? If you do have questions, I want you to email me. Let's see if we can work together, because once you do it once or twice, it's not that hard. It's just, you just got to slog through typing everything in. So I'm hoping you found this helpful. Remember, you can download the link. This video will be at the website. You'll get an email saying, hey, this is at the website. Email me if I can help you any more with it, okay? All right. Get in there and make a convention card. Bye.